Everybody, good morning. Way Through News meteorologist Brian Good here. We're going to take you all the way through on these Derby events. Of course, they're ongoing, and we'll get into Derby itself coming up. We need to talk about today. First off, there's this little weak wave. It's a couple hours ahead of schedule from what was Prague there, but still going to be a quick hitter. That's overall theme with this. It's going to pass right on by. And it looks like Indiana taking the brunt of the shower activity as it breezes through the area. It's not going to create an overcast sky for long if it does impact you, and a lot of you will miss out completely from that. You can see how there's a little bit of a bubbling effect, too, on the visible satellites. So these are certainly some cumulus clouds building up a little bit to where if they were arriving in the afternoon, they would have some lightning with them. So nice to see that tracking through quickly. That means we'll be back into a sunny sky in a matter of just a few more hours. If we cloud up at all, it's not going to be a big deal there. The wind, though, yeah, that is a big deal. Wind gusts now over 20 miles per hour. Got gusts over 30. Keep in mind the criteria for wind alerts is a little different depending on the part of the country you're in. Indiana has different criteria than Louisville does for our area, so that's why our northern counties are not technically in the wind advisory, but the effects are the same. We're talking about a widespread area of a good 40 mile per hour wind gust potential, if not slightly above that in spots. So it's going to be a windy day, just like yesterday. Once you get to that, especially that partly cloudy sky, that mix of the sun and the clouds, that makes the wind stronger. So heads up there. So let's get right into the events. First off, for tomorrow, as we get into the Steamboat Race Day, I think we will have a surge of rain that will move in. That's not necessarily a warm front, but it'll be just a wave of rainfall, the leading wave of that low pressure approaching. Now, this looks to provide some showers as we get into the afternoon period. Then we see it take a break. We get into more scattered activities. It fizzles out. And hopefully that'll get in here for the core of the Steamboat Race, because that will allow for maybe some sun breaks at the last minute of the day, because we'll take it. Because when you're out there, especially on the water, I'll be on the Bell of Cincinnati, Kevin's going to be on the Bell of Louisville, and you get that northeast wind, temperatures in the 50s, and you got a cloudy sky and rain. It is not a fun feeling. Now, everybody on the boat is having a blast. That I can assure you, but no matter what the weather is. But when you're sitting outside doing these reports, it's not as fun. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. I think it's going to be a higher rain chance at the beginning of the race. I do see a period of dry weather coming in before the main rain moves in as we get into the late evening time period into Thursday. That leads us into Thursday itself, where the track of this low is crucial, not only in wind direction, but on wind speed, temperature, and whether or not we have lightning. That's a big list for the parade officials to have to contend with, because that will really determine a lot on the inflatables and the floats that come down the parade route at 5:30 on that Thursday. Right now, the track low has been wavering. Some models at times take it right along and just north of the river, some take it just south of it. In general, if you're southeast of it, you can see where you get a warmer flow near 70. In fact, cooler flow on the north side, 50s. Warmer flow doesn't have as much rain activity until we get some heating involved, and that's when you get some thunderstorms then to develop in the southeast corner, and that has to be watched because that could contain some very heavy rain, some lightning, and that could be a mess if that were to pass right over us right at the point of the parade itself. Meanwhile, some heavier rain across Indiana on the cooler side, which is not good news for flooding. Got to monitor you guys carefully. I got a feeling we're going to be seeing a flood watch come out for you guys in Indiana out of this system because it has a decent amount of moisture with it. Then as it scoots on by, there will be a dry slot with it on the southern flank of the low. Now, if we can time this out right, it could push in here toward the end of the parade. In other words, if the low in general is moving faster, then the thunderstorm potential could be, say, 3 or 4 o'clock. Then we get dry slotted, say, between 5 and 7 before we get the backlash rain overnight Thursday. That would be great. That is possible. I'm not going to take that off the table. But right now the models are a little bit slower in that thinking and have the parade being impacted more by the rain. But I wouldn't bet, you know how models are. They're just tools. They're not the end all of how things are going to go. But I would say the trend with these kind of systems, you got to just monitor the speed carefully, and we'll have much more of an idea in the next 36 hours. Then once it moves by, we will be on the cooler side of this. Confidence continues to increase on us being on a cool north flow, breezy at times, low-hanging cloud deck, and scattered showers and drizzle. Not a washout as far as heavy rain, but there will be just areas of drizzle off and on, and temperatures will struggle depending on how much coverage of drizzle we got. If we get just a cloudy sky for a while, we could get easily into the mid to perhaps upper 50s. If we stay in a drizzly scenario for several hours, which is possible, then we're talking about 50 to 53, something like that, which means it'll feel like 40s. I know. I know. I can read your minds, and I can see your faces you're making at me already. But now, see, the slope moves out for Derby morning. And if that were to be where the story ends, we would have a great Derby day. Temperature is well into the 60s to near 70 and blue sky. However, this little guy here continues to show up in the models and continues to be what's ruined the party. As we head into, and look how quick that was. I mean, that was fast. It zips real quick down into Tennessee. It's like a Clipper type event. So this band of showers, it's hard to time out exactly when it would pass through wave country. It could be 2 in the afternoon Saturday. It could be as late as 7 or 8. The race beat about, I believe, 6:50 this year. The race is a bit later. So there's a lot of questions on how this will move through, because we will likely be sunny before it arrives, and if it gets here quick enough, we could go sunny after it. But obviously, the longer it waits, the warmer we have a chance to get, well into the 60s. But if it moves in mid-afternoonish, that's going to knock our numbers down a bit. We may get some late-day sun, but it may not be able to recover much from that. So that's all it's looking for now, guys. We'll take it one step at a time here, but this low pressure and this little clipper here on Derby Day are the two main features that will be on our maps the coming days that we've got to nail down. So stay tuned for adjustments.